Hi everyone, this is Paul Lange from Disciplined Trading Strategies with this week's Trade of the Week video. This is for the week ending 8/23 of 2020, and this happened on the 19th. The stock was Facebook, FB, good old Facebook. The strategy was based on a 60-minute DTS breakout. It's actually a little more complicated than that, but can't fit the whole thing in that little window. Entry based on a 50-minute DTS buy setup, beat the tail, and the management simple reward to risk about 2.3 to 1. This was intended to be kind of held for the rest of the day, and it ended up being a 40-minute hold simply because it rallied really strong right after entry and turned out to be a good decision as well. As usual, before we get to this trade, free stuff for you this week at DTS. Monday night is the biweekly scanning night, 5 o'clock, and if you remember, you will get your invite Monday. And then Wednesday, the 26th of this week, is going to be a DTS educational event for all DTS members. It's going to be intraday market analysis. This will be featuring intraday day trading concepts, but the concepts apply across the board if you understand them. But I will be featuring intraday charts at this particular DTS event. As you know, I like both day trading and long-term investing, and the strategies and concepts apply to both equally as well, and I do events for both of those concepts separately as well. Let's get on with the trade. This is the daily chart of Facebook, and the reason that this was called to my attention, the reason it was on the list that day was partly due to the daily chart because of the strong move that it had on the gap. It's a gap carry, really, follow through the wide range bar, then consolidating in the middle of the range, picking up those support levels, a great thing to do because you have a daily chart that gives you a picture of power, a reason the stock is going to move up. Hourly chart next. This is what it looked like before the trade. That's the support level on the hourly chart. And you can see the day before, it had this little kind of a breakout. Now, you got to be careful here. This is kind of a quasi anticipating the real breakout up here, but it broke across the last 2 days level and also showed me based on that on the daily chart that it would likely have a move this next day. And here's what it looked like after the day of the trade. It opened right there, boom, moved higher. What's important though, that it isn't really a 60-minute breakout if you're looking at this whole area, because you would have been entering up here and you would have lost money. And that's what's important, is to recognize the concept is that it's going to be a breakout, and the entry though, however, is not related to that actually breakout. All of my entries are separate from the strategy, and if you're not doing that, you're probably having a very hard time making money. Coming down to the 15-minute chart, you can get a little better view of exactly how this whole thing comes together. Here's where the stock opened that day. This little run here was that wide bar on the hourly chart that we saw that kind of broke across the last couple of days. And then it's this next pullback that I want. Understanding that the trend is starting to move higher, that we're getting more buyers and sellers, the battle is being won by the buyers. I now want to get in as low as I possibly can in this area. And that's the 15-minute chart that gives you a good view of the overall concept. It was kind of a 15-minute buy setup, but I didn't use that entry based on the standards you probably know for a 15-minute buy setup. There's the entry 262.51, stop 261.29, and quick first target to the high of the day, which is always the plan. And that was a decent target. It wasn't cheating it. And then boom, it just ran, and it ran so much that I decided to take the whole thing off the table there. Third target trailed about 40 minutes later. So it just happened to go quick. It was the right decision because it pulled back the rest of the day. The stock, as often is the case, the daily was a little extended, and those breakout attempts often get knocked back down again. That's why it's so important you get in here when you understand it's going to happen rather than waiting too late. The 5-minute chart gives you a little better view of that entry. Entry came right in there on that pullback, as close as I could to the bottom, because I knew it was going to move up, so there's no point in waiting. If you look, that's not necessarily over the high of anything. It was just time to jump in and get in the trade. And then shortly after that, it had that big run. So target 1, boom. Target 2, boom. And then target 3, I trailed because once it started to run up that much, I figured it was going to be the high. It's what I call taking the free money, even though the target could have been higher. It had it ground higher all day long. This trade, like all the trades you see in these Trade of the Week videos done in the DTS Trading Room, where we go through a list of stocks, pick our favorites, and really hit the morning hard and then walk away for the rest of the day. If this trading style is something that appeals to you, come check us out at the DTS Trading Room. If you go to the DTS homepage, click on the Services tab, and you'll figure it out from there. Until next time, this is Paul for DTS. Good trading, everybody.